is it my side? It's always my side.
You got the blanket.
She's not even using the blanket.
What's happening?
The dog completely fucking wrecked my side of the bed to lie down.
Lol.
On my pillow.
Monster.
My pillow smells like dog.
Gay Space Rocks, come on, grab your friends. We're going to very cartoon lands with August the Harpy and Brian the Raccoon. The fun, it never ends. It's Gay Space Rocks.
Mathematical! Hello, thank you for tuning in to Gay Space Rocks, an Steven Universe watching podcast where we watch Adventure Time. I am your host. My name is Brian. I use he, him pronouns. You can find me on the internet at RoomWarePod, and you can find the podcast on the internet, which is Twitter, at Gay Space Pod. With me, as always, is my what is an Adventure Time? My rhombus-ish co-host August.
I don't believe I'm that rhombus-shaped, but thank you.
You're welcome, I guess. I panicked.
It's fine. Anyway, hello. I'm August. I did not wave at the microphone because I'm sitting on my hands this time. I use they, them pronouns. You can find me on the Twitters at HarpyDora, and I'm on a lot of other podcasts. I'm not going to list them all because you probably listen to some and or all of them. You know where to find me. It's all good.
You've gotten this deep. You know us.
Yeah.
You know our shit. So as mentioned before at the top of this episode, we are not watching Steven Universe this week. We're in between season 1 and season 2 of Steven Universe, so we decided to watch something a little different just to break up the pace a little bit. This week we are watching Adventure Time Distant Lands Obsidian, an Adventure Time special miniseries. I actually don't really know what they're quantifying Distant Lands as, if it's like just an epilogue series or what. Well, it can't be an epilogue series, but just specials, Adventure Time specials. Particularly, we're focusing on Obsidian, which is the second of the planned 4 specials. This one focusing on Marceline the Vampire Queen and Princess Bonnibel Bubblegum. The first special of which focused on BMO, which is why it's not an epilogue series, because that one took place actually before. It's a prequel series. That's a prequel episode. It's so weird. But yeah, I don't think we have... Is there any... We don't have any, like, news, right? Like, HBO just... in between our last episode and this episode, HBO like greenlit a whole bunch of wild shit, didn't they?
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly what. I'm scrolling up. Oh, important thing to me. That's the important thing. They greenlit fucking Infinity Train season 4.
Hell yeah.
I fucking love Infinity Train. It's a great fucking show. Also, they announced a new Ben 10 special for some reason. And then, actually 2 Ben 10 specials. One following grown-up Ben reuniting with his past self for some fucking reason. Then another one where it crosses over with Generator Rex. Oh, and then a third one that's dimension hopping for some reason. They're doing an Amazing World of Gumball movie, which should be pretty fucking dope, because Gumball is a great fucking show, and I would love to see what they do with a movie budget.
Mm-hmm.
Some kind of Teen Titans Go spin-off.
But why? But why?
Money. If you know what, I'll take it. Teen Titans Go is not that bad. I
can't stand it. Like, the reason I liked Teen Titans was the characterization, and Teen Titans Go, every single episode is just, I can't even get, like, you know, some of the gags are funny, but for the most part I'm just annoyed by Robin and Raven specifically. They just like reduced them down to their worst characteristics. And it's just like, really?
The way I like to see it is they basically took all of the personality archetypes they created and then reduced them down. And it's like, okay, so what if we made a cartoon using these basic character tropes, but we also made like whatever the cartoon version of Always Sunny in Philadelphia is. And I feel like that's what Teen Titans Go is.
See, I don't care for Always Sunny either, so that explains why I really don't like this.
Fair. I love always, like, I love just like pitch black comedies like that. I feel like Teen Titans Go is the closest you can get to like a black comedy cartoon actually meant for children.
I've got to actually like the characters. I can't hate watch. I can't.
That's fair. But yeah, that's also Teen Titans Go makes just a metric fuck ton of money.
Why?
Merchandising. Let's see. We are also getting new seasons of Craig of the Creek, which I hear is really good. I haven't checked it out, but I've only ever heard good things from it. A new season of Total Drama Island, which I didn't even realize was still a show.
Oh, okay.
And then
sure.
A new season of Victor and Valentino, which I do not know what that is at all. There's also going to be an animated Gremlins prequel that's going to be set in 1920s Shanghai.
I'm not particularly, how do you say,
optimistic
encouraged? Yeah. That sounds like it's ripe for all of the Orientalism and racism that you would expect.
True. You know what? They are making it in the year 2021, so like, and HBO's been doing pretty okay as far as that, you know? They seem to like understand shit a little bit better. Because this is what HBO is making specifically for their own platform, and I feel like they would be savvy enough not to make just straight up a racial caricature and put that motherfucker on their streaming service.
One would hope.
Mm-hmm. They're also making another show called Jade Armor, which is like a martial arts themed like action show focused around some martial arts loving teenage heroine learning her family secret. So it sounds like fucking American Dragon Jake Long. Wait, what was his name? You know,
yeah, it was Jake Long, I think.
Yeah. It looks like they're just doing a lot of a lot of ones based around like female protagonists, which is pretty cool. Gross Girls actually sounds pretty cute. It's like a comedy about two best friends surviving middle school. So that should be cute. And then also, here's the fucking wildest one. I don't know if I've read this to you, August. Another show that they've greenlit along with all of these other things is called Tweety Mysteries. I'm going to read to you the exact description of the show.
Oh, God.
A hybrid live-action animated show starring Tweety Bird and an investigative podcast.
You can't see the series of expressions going across my face right now.
I cannot wait for Making a Murderer Tweety Bird edition.
This is either going to be some brilliant fucking bullshit, or it is going to be the worst dreck imaginable. There's no in between. There's no way that this can be mediocre.
We're gonna have to watch at least one episode.
Oh God, yes, I want to. I absolutely
As a podcast
want
that covers
to.
cartoons, I feel like we are like contractually obligated to do so.
Yeah.
Hey HBO, if you want to shoot us some money, we'll do it for money. Whatever.
Oh my God.
So that's fun. So that's news. That's the big animation news. Frankly, I'm just so stoked for Infinity Train. That show's so fucking good. And I was so sad that I thought it was dead. But HBO revived it. So, frankly, if I have to get if everything here was just total garbage and I got a fourth season of Infinity Train, I'd be like, fine, sweet.
Fair.
Love it. Okay. So I think do we have anything else? I don't think so. I don't think there's any other news. Definitely no Steven Universe news.
Infinite hiatus, baby.
Infinite hiatus. I could see I see if there's a push. I honestly could see HBO, because like if they're bringing back specials for Adventure Time, I could see them doing a very similar thing where they're no longer focusing on Steven, and doing like Steven Universe specials.
Yeah.
Which I would enjoy, and I think the fandom would enjoy greatly, because I feel like there's still a lot of fucking marketing money to be made off of Steven Universe.
Yeah, I could see that.
I have no idea what Rebecca Sugar's actually up to currently, though, so could be an issue with that as well. So, our episode this week is Adventure Time, Distant Lands, Obsidian. The director for this was Miki Brewster. Story by... There's so many people than normal. I guess... What does it... So they have written and storyboarded by, and then also story. So I don't know what those two things mean. Why they're different.
I have no idea.
A lot of people, frankly. Just go to the wiki. Like, there's so much more than our usual, so I'm not going to go through it. The official synopsis on HBO Max is Marceline and Princess Bubblegum journey to the imposing, beautiful Glass Kingdom and deep into their tumultuous past to prevent an earth-shaking catastrophe. Here's the issue, y'all. There is no official plot summary, either on Wikipedia or the official wiki, so I'm just going to be doing this off the top of the dome because I didn't realize that till I sat down to record, so I did not write a summary of the episode. But fortunately, I've watched this about 1 billion fucking times even before we did this, so I think I might be able to do it. We open up in the Glass Kingdom. We follow Glass Boy as he ascends to the top of a mountain in the Glass Kingdom. A ritual is being prepared. Glass Boy is immediately ostracized by the rest of the Glass people because he's got like a crack in his head. It seems to have some sort of relationship to See-Through Princess, the Princess of the Glass Kingdom. See-Through Princess begins the story talking about how the Glass Kingdom was formed when a magic meteor struck the sands, and everything was chill for a while until the great beast Larvo showed up, started wrecking fucking shop. Fortunately, their cries for help were heard by Saint Marceline and her silver shovel. She, through her song, was able to drive Larvo back into the mountain. And so every year they come and they sing the incantation that Saint Marceline left them to continue to keep Larvo sedated. Glass Boy interjects. He's like, hey, maybe we don't have to be afraid of Larvo. No one's seen him since Marceline put him in the mountain. He's probably dead. And inside of there is a forge that can fix glass people like me with my big fucking crack in my head. Everybody's like, hey, shut the fuck up, Glass Boy, because everyone's real fucking mean to Glass Boy. See-Through Princess feels very bad about this, but she is immediately overwritten by her 3 advisors, who are basically just these 3 shitheads who are very mean, and they're big assholes, and they kind of threaten See-Through Princess by kind of wanting to force her to step down, most likely to just assume power themselves. Later that night, Glass Boy, having stolen the key from See-Through Princess, sneaks into the forge, begins to repair himself, but inadvertently wakes up the great beast Larvo. He makes it out just in time to slam the door behind him to trap Larvo inside, but it does not look like it's going to hold. Larvo is on a hair's breadth away from being able to break out of this fucking mountain. As he's trying to escape the scene, Glass Boy is come upon by the 3 advisors who throw him in jail despite See-Through Princess's protests. And we smash cut over to see, as he's crying out about going to see Saint Marceline, we smash cut over to Marceline, who is in her big bat form trying to put together some kind of IKEA furniture, it looks like. And it seems as though she and Bubblegum, post the finale of Adventure Time, have settled into like cottagecore domestic bliss. Credits roll. Glass Boy breaks out and begins making his way across the desert. We see more scenes of like domestic Bonnabelle and Marcy. Finally, Glass Boy comes upon the Candy Kingdom. He meets the Choose Goose. It's not important to the plot, but I do personally love the Choose Goose. He happens upon Simon, who is in a dive bar singing the Marceline song from the first like Ice King backstory episode that we ever got. Glass Boy finally gets Simon's attention, and Simon takes Glass Boy to go see Marcy and PB. Meanwhile, Marcy and PB are just kind of like chilling at home. Marceline's working on a new song. When Bubblegum asks to hear it, Marceline gets very nervous, stating that it's not finished yet. They're interrupted by Simon and Glass Boy. Glass Boy is just losing his fucking shit at Marceline, basically asking her to come and help him. Marceline and Bubblegum are reluctant. We get our first of many flashbacks detailing the events that had previously happened at the Glass Kingdom. Eventually, we see that Larvo has sent agents to hunt down Marceline, presumably to keep Larvo from escaping again. And Marceline, Glass Boy, and PB all set out to the Glass Kingdom. They're traveling the desert. We get the first of our flashbacks of Marceline with her mother, when Marceline was just a wee little baby, drawing some sort of map. We get this as they pass by Marceline's old home. Meanwhile, we finally get to the Glass Kingdom. PB is very excited to do the whole diplomat thing. It does not work out. As she rings the bell, a guard kind of stops her and accosts her. And Marceline, getting mad that this guy is hassling her girlfriend, basically chops the bell down, kicks this dude's fucking head in, drives a motorcycle into the kingdom. Everybody's losing their shit. No one believes that this is the real Marceline, because the old Marceline, like the Marceline from their stories, is heckin' old. But as the Glass Assassins is what apparently the wiki calls these things. The Glass Assassins.
That's also what the closed captions call them.
Oh, interesting. Cool. I didn't watch it with the closed captions on. They attack. Marceline is dope as shit. Everybody finally believes her. Everybody is fawning over Marceline as they go up to the top of the mountain. But Bubblegum is looking more and more sad and distraught. Up at the top of the mountain, they're like, hey, we need new incantation. Marceline's like, what? They're like, your old song's not working. And she's like, oh, yeah, it's because you donked up all the fucking lyrics. She goes to start playing the song, though asks to make sure that would be okay with Bonnabelle, who gives her the okay. And then we get our next flashback detailing the song. I know the name of this song. Woke Up. Which seems to be some sort of breakup song that PB and Marceline had the first time they were here and locked Larvo away. After it, everybody kind of dunks on PB, but it does not seem that the song had any effect. Larvo is still trying to break out. PB summons the giant fucking... what do you call it? The giant fucking eagle, the Morrow. That's its name. Who drops off a big force field, like we had previously seen in the flashback. Marceline tries to tap into her anger to push Larvo away, and it doesn't really work. She's just not that angry young punk anymore. After PB's force field seems to not be working, Marceline determines that she just needs to go find herself, go back to the place where she was the most hurt, and runs off much to PB's chagrin. We get another flashback of Marceline with her mother. Wait, do we get the flashback where Peebs calls Monster, or calls her like a monster punk or what have you?
There is one, but I don't remember.
I know those two. I know there. So we get a flashback of like baby Marceline doing monster stuff. Oh, we get a flashback of baby Marceline doing monster stuff. That's right. Then we get some more of PB trying to science out this situation. Before we get another flashback of basically we see the scene immediately prior to Marceline playing the breakup song, which is PB basically being very frustrated, very harried about this entire Larvo situation, and says some very unkind things about Marceline being a monster. This is immediately followed up by another, like a flashback after a flashback of baby Marceline with her mom. Her mom's trying to fix up a motorcycle. It's obvious that her mom's very sick. And while Marceline is trying to get her mother to come with her to this quote-unquote party that is being hosted, Marceline's mother yells at Marceline, telling her to get out, that she doesn't have time for her. Baby Marceline, treks across the desert where she finds a fallout shelter where the supposed party was happening. It's a bad scene. We see it a little bit later after that, where Marceline has kind of settled in as a little baby. She is singing a little song about the red light blinking on a console to all of the friends that she's made out of like boxes and refuse, surrounded by skeletons in a Fallout-style shelter. And we see Marceline develop some bad coping habits, as she is very upset about her mother, thinking that her mother thinks that she's some kind of monster. But baby Marceline resolves that, like, if people are gonna be scared of her, it's because she wants them to be scared of her. We fast forward to old Marceline coming back to the Fallout shelter. She says hi to Lemmy, and flies up to the console, talking about how the red light always bugged her. Finally, she accidentally hits a button on the console where a message plays. It's the final message from Marceline's mom, apologizing to Marceline for tricking her, but revealing that she is very sick and that she's not going to be able to see Marceline again. We get an interruption from Glass Boy, who had stowed away with Marceline. He is very upset at See-Through Princess, who had earlier scorned him, in a very similar moment to how Bubblegum had done to Marcy, and sings the angry punk rock song that he's written, which I believe is, called See-Through. Marcy's like, oh my, like, it's very cringy, and Marcy's like, oh my god, is that how I sound? Resolving, like, I need to go help Bubblegum, she's good for me, it's not her fault that I have baggage. Meanwhile, back at the See-Through Kingdom, See-Through Princess and Bubblegum are trying to figure out the Larvo situation. Through experiments, we figure out that Bubblegum's root beer powers can freeze Larvo, basically cool him down. He's a big old lava monster. They rally the glass people to basically fill them up with root beer, finally intentionally letting Larvo out, and dumping a whole bunch of root beer on him once he's bitten in a choke point. It works for a moment, but then Larvo breaks out. He's just too powerful. Meanwhile, back at the Fallout shelter, Marceline is attacked by the Glass Assassins. They take and destroy her base, but she resolves not to waste time beating them up, that Bubblegum needs her. So she flies off, only to discover that she's too late to the Glass Kingdom. Bubblegum is excited to see Marceline. She's like, all right, I need you need to sing a song. And Marcy's like, my bass is broken. And she's like, oh my god, well, at least your new song's gonna be real angry. And Marceline's like, no, I think I'm over anger. And basically all hope is lost. They are attacked by Larvo because Larvo recognizes Glass Boy. Glass Boy, realizing that Larvo is specifically targeting him, runs back into the cave, getting Larvo to chase him in. Marceline and Bubblegum chase after him. But the three shithead advisors, they turn the force field on full blast. This disrupts the tunnel, causing the roof to cave in, trapping Larvo, knocking Glass Boy out, but trapping Marceline and Bubblegum in. Marceline tries to dig out, but the tunnel's too unstable. They have a bit of a heart-to-heart where they both sort of apologize to each other, explaining the situation. But Marceline apologizing for running off, Bubblegum saying that she did kind of want Marceline's song to fail because she wanted to be able to prove herself, and that was very selfish. In what could possibly be their final moments, Marceline sings the song that she's been working on to Bubblegum. It's Monster. It's a very cute song. We also get the backstory for Larvo. He was a tiny little baby fish thing. But his whole little family was attacked. All of them were eaten except for him. And he got a big old scar on his head. He was very sad and hid inside of a volcano, I guess, with a little mask on his head until he grew up big and angry to be the big Larvo that we know now. After hearing Marceline's heartfelt song and seeing the love between Marceline and Bubblegum, Larvo finally achieves his full form, which is a big butterfly cat, I guess.
I don't know. I read it more as like a squirrel.
I have no idea what that thing is. It's adorable, though. It flies out of the cave, freeing Marceline, Glass Boy, and Bubblegum. They meet up with See-Through Princess, who, trying to get them out, destroys the force field, though that cracks See-Through Princess. Her advisors are like, oh my god, you're cracked, oh no. Well, guess you're fucking out of the power. And she's like, no, fuck you fucking assholes. She ties her goddamn self back together. And we get everybody revealing that basically everybody in the Glass Kingdom's got cracks in them, because they're fucking glass people, of course they would. Meanwhile, Simon finally shows up. He's like, Marceline, you're in danger. In tow with him are a bunch of fucking banana guards. Bronwyn, one of Jake's grandchild, and Finn, who is significantly older than the finale of Adventure Time, looking like he's in his fucking 20s with a beard and a fucking chest tattoo of Jake. We move on to a cute little party scene. They dance. It's very sweet. They say, like, Marceline and Bubblegum basically are just very sweet in this exact moment. And then we get our final flashback, which is, I believe, the first time Bubblegum and Marceline met. It's Bubblegum at a concert that Marceline was throwing, and Marceline throws Bubblegum the all-important t-shirt to their relationship. Star wipe, the end. I feel like that was as concise as I could have made it.
Yeah. No, I mean, I feel like that's reasonable. It's like more than 3 episodes of Steven Universe, so I feel like it deserves to be a longer summary.
True. And I know a good port, because this is sort of locked behind a paywall unless you Yahoo animate it, which, do so. I don't care. HBO doesn't need the money. But I figured I wanted to, I thought about just not doing the summary, but I feel like that would be a little bit disingenuous for our listeners who didn't get a chance to watch the episode.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's do this a little, because this is basically 3 episodes long, I do have a whole bunch of my usual bullet point notes, but I feel like we're just going to get real bogged down if we go about it that way.
Yeah, that's fair.
So let's just kind of, go through our notes, shoot from the hip, find the conversation where we have it. I do want to ask, as I watched basically every episode of fucking Adventure Time, so I was beyond stoked for this. What, as somebody who was I guess a more casual Adventure Time watcher, what was your vibe on this?
Oh, I deeply enjoyed it. It reminded me why I enjoyed Adventure Time and made me wonder why the fuck did I ever fall off of watching it.
The filler episodes, that's why.
No, I don't remember the filler episodes being bad, at least for the area where I stopped watching. I was thinking about it. It's probably closer to season 3 than season 2.
Yeah. Well, I feel like at that point, it becomes a bit of a slog because there's so many episodes, because that's when they were locked into the 52 episodes a season fucking model.
Yeah, that's fair.
And they got away from that, I think, around season 4. They got down to the 26 model that became much more normal. But, like, it's just a lot of fucking episodes.
Yeah.
And they're all fun, but, like, it's just like, holy shit.
Yeah. But, I mean, it reminded me why I enjoyed Adventure Time. You know, the very colorful art, the fun character designs. Little bit jumping while I'm talking, so he's vibrating my microphone arm, so you can't cut it out. No, I had a couple of points talking about the art and how the use of color in this particular episode is phenomenal.
Yeah. It definitely retains the Adventure Time like house style, while really I feel like iterating on it.
Yeah, I mean it's slick as hell.
Yeah, and especially toward the end, or when it's much more action oriented, it feels like I was saying this to you earlier. It feels like they just like tagged in Studio Trigger to come fucking like do shots from this fucking episode. It's especially like when Larvo breaks out of the thing and he just goes all weird. So
that was so
looking.
Good. Oh, it was so good.
Not an Adventure Time style of animation though.
Yeah. No, you're right on that one, but it was so slickly animated. It looked phenomenal.
Oh yeah, it was dope as fuck. Little fun fact, Glass Boy is Amethyst's voice actor.
Yep. I was like, oh hey, Amethyst.
Hey, Amethyst.
That's our through line.
It is. That's actually one of the reasons why I thought about pitching this. The other, it just being a gay cartoon.
Very good, very gay.
Yeah. One thing I really like about this, and Adventure Time sort of did it when it was in the main series, but this so much more feels like it's not inappropriate for kids, but it feels like it's made for a 20-something audience that grew up with Adventure Time.
Yeah.
Because this is not really a story that, from like an outset, like I feel like it would be a story that's engaging to kids who are like 10 or 11 years old, right? Like it's very colorful. It's a good little story. Like I feel like it's engaging, but like all of its themes and ideas really speak to something like way more mature than like even most of Adventure Time would get into.
Well, I think that there are two levels to the story, because there's like the Glass Boy level to the story and there's the PB Marceline level to the story, and the PB Marceline level is 100% geared at the 20-something Adventure Time fans. The Glass Boy level is definitely geared towards kids, and oh my god, I don't hate Glass Boy, and I don't hate like most of the events that happen around Glass Boy, but like the disability / marginalization metaphor that they choose to use and the way they choose to portray it gets on my nerves so bad. It's so poorly done. It's
so poorly done. I think that it's maybe intentionally done poorly as like a joke.
I don't know.
I have this in my notes. I'm like, what is this?
I hate it. I hate it so much.
Which is so weird because they've done this well before.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Chocolate Chip Princess episode?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, with Donald Glover.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, that's a great version of this. And this is so poorly done. I'm just like, is this supposed to be a joke? Because it feels like they started off, and then they drop that storyline, and then it comes back at the end.
Yeah.
But only perfunctory.
Yeah.
And
like,
so I'm just like, why is this even here?
Like, you know, they could have gone a little harder on the whole, like, you know, Larvo hates Glass Boy because Glass Boy reminds it of itself.
Yeah.
But
which is what they're going for, but they never state it explicitly enough that like a younger audience would get it. And frankly, even an older audience might miss it because it's so understated.
Yeah. It's
it just makes, like, I think Glass Boy is fun as this, like, mirror to the relationship, like, the early version of relationship between Marceline and Bubblegum, you know? Like, I think his part in the I guess the quote-unquote A-plot, right, is fine. He's a little annoying, but he's meant to kind of be annoying, you know?
Yeah.
And I think he comes around at the end. But, like, that whole... whatever the fuck is going on with that story is just dumb.
Yeah, it ain't great. It's so bad. And, like,
you can
honestly,
cut the whole thing and it doesn't affect anything.
Yeah. Which, no, it would affect anything. It would affect something because it would make it a better show.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to say that this is perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but, like, it would have come really damn close if it hadn't been for those absolutely grating parts of it. Because there were plenty of places where I was just so engrossed watching that I forgot to fucking take notes.
Yeah, just fucking vibing.
Yeah.
Like, and it's the entire middle chunk. Like, and I think the relationship, you could just do the whole thing with the relationship of, like, STB being very put on. Like, her advisors can still be shitheads. I frankly think they're hilarious. I love them. Especially when when Marceline and Bubblegum first show up and the one with the nasally voice calls them trash water harpies, and I loved that.
It's very good.
I love those characters are hilarious, and I think they're great. But why is everyone like? If you're not going to do anything with that story, you can have everyone just make fun of Glass Boy for believing in Marceline or whatever.
Yeah,
you know. Like, there's no reason to, like, bring the whole cracked thing into it. And it just feels like they were trying to tag on, like, some kind of, like, more simplistic moral and just kind of just really dropped the ball on it.
Yeah, not only that, but, like, the whole bullshit about, like, the advisors who have been super shitty about Glass Boy's crack being, like, the most cracked of like, all of the people there is just so damaging because the misconception that homophobes are all just secretly gay is just, it's awful. It's terrible. Don't keep perpetuating that, please, for the love of God.
Yeah, and it sucks more because we know they're capable of much better and more nuanced story, like moral. Like, even if they're doing straight up morals, they've done it better. And I just feel like it's because it wasn't a priority and they kind of had to... That's the part that kind of feels the most tacked on. Like, okay, well, we need this framing device to get Marceline and Bubblegum here, and we need this to be a little bit more... Like, we need to have something there for the kids. TM, you know? So, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Our
going
big complaints, Going back to the art, though, the visual gags in this are choice. They are so good.
That you can see through Princess.
Yes. I also really loved the when they had Glass Boy strapped to the back of Marceline's motorcycle and his helmet was just a bunch of bubble wrap.
It is. It's so good. I love... Small thing. I love Choose Goose because he's such a fucking weird character. And I love that he's here, and I love that he has no bearing on the plot. He just shows up, and you're like, oh, what's Choose Goose doing? Why is he talking about tanning lotions? No reason.
Yeah.
How did you like healed up version of Simon?
I knew that happened, but I hadn't seen anything about it other than that happened, and I enjoyed that a lot. I also enjoyed the whole "this is how I cope" with him sticking his face in the freezer. That was really good. Yeah, just good shit. Good shit.
Structurally
I'm too old to die.
Yeah, it's true. Well, he also might be... he might be functionally immortal considering what Betty did to turn him in to keep him from being the Ice King.
Mm-hmm.
So he might be functionally immortal.
Fair.
Which is we'll get to in a second. But from a structural standpoint, I really like the way they do the story, like the way they dish out the information for the A plot.
Mm-hmm.
Like giving us flashbacks, but flashbacks out of order, and flashbacks like leading into other flashbacks. Like the fact that this is a story taking place across 3 different sort of timelines in history, I think is a really great, like it's really tight writing on when it comes to that.
Yeah. And there were a couple of points where I was like, okay, this is a cheap shot, but ultimately they were all very effective cheap shots. Specifically around like the baby Marceline flashbacks.
Right.
And like the whole, anime mom coughs into hand and there's blood and it's
Dying
like,
of anime disease.
Yeah. But overall very emotionally effective.
I mean, it wouldn't. The thing is, it makes a lot of sense because they somehow lived through the nuclear apocalypse, and it makes sense that Marceline did. But it really doesn't make sense that her mom came out unaffected.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that it doesn't make sense. I'm just saying that is a very well-worn trope that it's a cheap shot.
I think the way they handle it is pretty interesting. The way they show, it's not like Marceline isn't necessarily messed up because of the trauma of losing her mother. Because Marceline would have always outlived her mom.
Yeah, many people outlive their parents.
Yeah, and especially because even though Marceline will theoretically have a normal lifespan if she wasn't a vampire, probably the demon part's not going to make her live. Is not certainly going to do something, right? Mm-hmm. But it's the trauma of not it's that ingrained poor coping mechanisms are built around not dealing directly with your problems and your and talking frankly about your emotions. And I was like, oh, that's a good spin on this. Marceline's not mad because she lost her mom, or isn't upset because she lost her mom. Losing her mom and the way that she lost her mom forced Marceline to, not talk about her emotions, which really fucked her up for, basically the rest of forever. Mm-hmm. So, thought that was a fun way of doing that thing.
Yeah.
Not fun, but you know what I mean. In fact, the opposite of fun.
No,
Because many
I know
times
what
in my
mean.
notes, I wrote, let's see. Oh shit, I'm crying, parentheses, mom. And then I wrote that every time mom was on the screen.
Fair.
Also, I love that, again, it's Adventure Time. So it's it's very colorful and also very scary.
Yeah.
That wolf, terrible.
Oh,
Terrible
I loved
monster.
that wolf. I loved the What's Up wolf. The
I
little
love
puppy.
The puppy, cute. The one with the mouth in its chest.
Yes, I loved that too.
All right. Do you love it more than Cool Skater Scorpion? Because that's my favorite character from this show.
Oh my god, the skater scorpion on top of the skeleton was a lot.
What the gas station that Marceline and her mother took refuge in? Did you see what it said on the sign out front?
No, I didn't.
It said meat for trade.
Ooh.
Scrawled on the wall.
Welp.
Yep. Oh, Adventure Time.
Never change.
I think that's actually the same gas station that Bonnibel visits in Bonnibel Bubblegum episode, which I think is in season 4 or something like that. But so that's interesting.
I was very afraid that this episode was going to, when they get to the point where it's oh no, this is when they broke up back when they were younger. I was very afraid that this is going to lead into they break up again and then they get back together by the end of the episode. And I was very pleased that they did not go that route. Marceline left, but she didn't explicitly break up with PB before she left or anything.
She's like, I've got to go
that.
do this on my own. And Bubblegum's like, no, you don't. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, I like that she, like, Bubblegum is miffed, but it's not like she's going to break up with Marceline, right?
Yeah.
Not at this point in their relationship. When I first saw this, I'm like, oh god, I knew it was going to be like Bubblegum and Marceline, but at the time, we didn't know if it was going to be a prequel or what it was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And B, I was like, okay, well, I know they like kiss at the finale of like, but you know, how coupled are they in this? And it's very, they've just become like every millennial lesbian couple. Though it is worth explicitly stating that neither one of them is in fact a lesbian. They're both bisexual.
Yeah, although I really enjoyed the gag at the beginning with the two mugs, or the mug and the teacup, and then the black boss mug went to Bonneville. That was just a good gag.
It's true.
There's so many good gags in this.
There's a whole lot of good gags. Adventure Time is good at making you like chuckle and also cry. It's like their whole deal. I like by the time when we get to the kingdom, like Bubblegum's like on her full shit. Mm-hmm. And I wrote here in my notes when she's like talking to that guard, it's like Marcy defending PB like this motherfucker works at Delta Airline.
Yeah.
So, what did you think about "Woke Up"? The kind of like one of the two big songs of this.
I liked it a lot.
Is it stuck in your head constantly every time?
Yeah.
You have an errant thought.
Yeah. Yeah. It's real good.
What did I write? Oh, I wrote here, it's good to know that once nuclear magic fire wipes the world clean, all the best aspects of Avril Lavigne will be reincarnated into a vampire demon.
Yes, that is good to know. I can rest easy this night. Yeah.
Man, it also just like fucking, I mean, I'm glad that we get more context that like it shows that like, okay, both of them were just being real shitty in this situation. I mean, Marceline more so, I feel like, but also that just seems very in Marceline's character to just go from 1 to 100.
Yeah, but PB definitely wasn't blameless.
No, not in the least.
And it's nice that it was kind of like they were both being crummy and, shitty and young.
Yeah, definitely. Like if it shows that like it's a good way to show the development of like, okay, well, we figured out what we need to do. We just need to be able to talk to each other about our fucking emotions. Because like also like Marceline was just like, but like the breakup song thing is just like me in my head is like, that is fucking brutal.
Yeah.
To have been Bubblegum. Like, okay, sweet. It's like showing up to your partner's concert and they sing the breakup song while you're there and you don't know that it's coming.
Yeah.
I like how sweet, like cute and sweet they are at each other for most of the episode.
It's so good.
When like they're walking up and Bubblegum's feeling all bad because they're showering attention on Marceline, and she's like, it's like they're nothing. It's like I'm nothing to them. Marceline's like, you're everything to me, and I'm like, oh, it's okay.
It's so good.
So sweet and gay. What did you think about the like? I guess like younger, PB and Marcy designs.
Of course, I loved younger Marceline.
Mm-hmm.
Just that punk rock aesthetic. very well executed. And I mean, this show historically just has good character designs in general.
True.
And they did not stop. But I mean, I Marceline's younger self just looked kind of drab to me, which, may have been a reflection on her character at the time, but was not as visually interesting.
True. I mean, same with Bubblegum. So I think maybe it was a conscious decision to make them less complicated looking to sort of get across the point visually that they're they're more sort of like.
Wait, did I say Marceline? I meant Bubblegum was drab.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
That's fair. I think though their character designs in general are a lot more like toned down for that, even though like Marcy's probably more so, or Bubblegum's more so. But like, I think it's sort of a visual signifier to like sort of show them being more one, like trying to put on these more one note personalities.
Mm-hmm.
I also like how even in their older forms, we get them going to their bad, like their bad habits when push comes to shove.
Mm-hmm.
Of like Marceline running off to be a fucking cool, or like to go fight adventure or whatever, and then Bubblegum switching into like fucking cold ass computer mode.
Yeah. And like, you can tell it's like somewhat of the same habits that, drove them apart.
Right.
So that was another reason why I was worried it's going to be like, oh no, they're going to break up. And then thankfully they did not pull that shit. Yeah. Just, good shit. Good character development.
Very good. And they apologized for being shit to each other at the end.
Yeah. Like, communication and owning up to your own mistakes and taking responsibility for your words. And, it's almost like all of that stuff is, major ingredients for a healthy relationship.
It's true. And like, I like how they display a healthy relationship that's also not a perfect relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they do a very good job. Like, this is like if you're like, okay, I want a piece of gay media that's about gay people but not about coming out. I'm like, well, here's one.
Yeah.
This might be one of the better ones.
It's perfect because it's not about them being gay. It's about their character development as people and also fighting a cool dragon.
Right, exactly. Speaking of the cool dragon, I love Bubblegum's. I don't know why I love the giant turkey baster thing so much, but I fucking love that moment.
It's so fucking hilarious.
STP being like, "You're so confident." Yeah, I'm pretty good at stabbing.
Yeah. Oh god, I love how like low-key bloodthirsty Bubblegum just is as a person.
It's true. She'll just kill it. She's just like, fine, it's fine.
Yeah. This will be so much easier to kill. Bubblegum, no. Although, like,
what did you think about Bubble? Oh, going. Sorry.
I wish they'd gone harder on the parallels between Larvo and Glass Boy. That could have been a much more emotionally interesting and satisfying sort of reveal.
Yeah, for sure.
And it could have been one of those things where it's like seeing Glass Boy like accept himself caused Larvo to be able to accept itself, and that's why it was able to reach its final form and so on and so forth. Like, and I mean, I feel like that's somewhat what they were going for, but they didn't go hard enough on it because they spent too much of their time being wrapped up in this really stupid disability metaphor and the way that it played out outside of the cavern. And it's just like,
yeah,
missed opportunity
for sure. What was I gonna say? Let's see.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. That's right. She called. I found and typed in my notes what PB calls Marceline. She calls her monster trash, which is fucking rough.
Yeah.
Maybe don't call your significant other anything trash.
I mean, okay, like, I don't mind if Anya calls me shipper trash in a loving way because, but yeah, calling somebody who may or may not be self-conscious about, like, their parentage monster trash is probably not the best way to maintain a healthy relationship with them.
Yeah, for surezies. I know what I was going to say. Had you experienced Bubblegum with her weird candy powers?
Little Bit has something to say about that. I cannot recall ever having experienced her weird candy powers, and so all that root beer came from my body was very upsetting.
Yeah, Bubblegum got saddled with, like, the worst of the elemental powers.
It was a lot, and I'm not happy about it.
I love STP. Her voice actor is great. I love how she's like, listen here, like, I would love a version of that, like the speech where STP tells off her little council.
Yes.
But, like, more aggressively Australian with a bunch of things that I don't feel comfortable saying, but I would love to hear her say it.
Yeah.
Because Australian swears seem to have a different cadence from all the Australian things I listen to. So, fuck that, the whole bomb shelter thing with Baby Marcy is rough.
Oh, it's so bad.
The little scene with her and all her imaginary friends, that is fucking a devastating scene.
Yes. I actually, in my notes, said, way to punch the audience in the heart guts.
Yeah, exactly. And, like, it's good. It illustrates these, it puts very plainly the coping mechanisms that she put into place. Mm-hmm. And I think it's a good scene, but whoo, lordy. Coming fucking for you.
Yeah.
The Glass Boy reveal of Glass Boy being like, it's me, Glass Boy, was also great.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think about Glass Boy's little bop?
It's cute. I mean, okay, so I feel like it has a little bit of a different cadence. Like, it's clearly meant to be a parallel to Marceline and her breakup song, et cetera, et cetera. I feel like it has a little bit of a different cadence coming from, a boy to a girl as opposed to having it be a gay breakup song.
Right. Well, it's also just generally, it has just a whole lot less substance to it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, obviously it's meant to. I don't understand how I'm supposed to believe. I love I think I can't tell if I love or hate the tissue box ukulele.
I hate it. Like, how
I love that Marceline tunes it at one point, and the strings are obviously not attached to anything.
Yeah. I hate it. Like, it's cute, but also, like, I took a guitar lesson not a guitar lesson. I took guitar lessons for a semester in high school, so it's just like everything about it is wrong. I know enough about guitars still to know that this shouldn't work, but I mean, it's Adventure Time. People's arms bend in ways that would not be indicated they should if they had elbows or bones. So, I mean, I shouldn't, but at the same time, the entire time, anytime it was on screen, I'm just like, how does that work?
It's the worst, greatest thing. I should try and figure out how to make a functional version of it.
Oh my god. How would that work? Like, wouldn't the tension of the strings just cause it to crumple?
So what you could do, yes. The strings have no tension on them because they're taped. But what you could do is you basically take a shoebox. It would be set to an open tuning because there's no way to fret it, but you could make one that strums and makes noise. So you take a tissue box, you cut the back out of it, you fill the inside with wood, so it's like a wooden box. You bring the strings through the body like you would on a normal guitar. They come out the front. You put like a little piece of tape on there to make it look like it's taped down. They come back down. They go through the front, then out the back where you have just some tuners mounted in that it will attach to. So you can actually tune it. They just kind of poke into your tummy, but you don't see that on the front. And then you just like glue a fucking cardboard tube to it and put some crayons through there and boom. And then you just tune it to an open tuning like a D or something like that you can strum. Boom.
Okay.
I've maybe thought about this too much.
All right, Greg Universe.
Yeah. I like that I like Marceline being like, no, bubblegum is good for me. Like, that's such a, like, it's like, oh yeah, okay. Character realization, just laying it out there, like, no ambiguity. Yeah. Like, but they're signposting it without it feeling very cheesy or just, like, staring into the camera and being like, themes.
Mm-hmm.
I do love that Glass Boy, when they exit the bunker, is like, hey, when we get back, I can show you some of my favorite manga.
Yeah. I do like Glass Boy. Like, yes, he's annoying, but I do like him. I like the parallel that they set up between See-Through Princess and Glass Boy with Marceline and Bubblegum. Mm-hmm. And I think it's very cute.
Also, apparently Glass Boy was supposed to be a placeholder name, and they just never changed his name.
Fair.
I mean, it doesn't feel like a name. It feels very in line with their naming structure anyways.
Yes. I mean, you've got See-Through Princess. Glass Boy isn't going to stand out at all.
Right. I do love as they're setting up the trap for Larvo, just PB being like, Larvo comes out and like See-Through Princess is trying to be kind of like small and being like, well, maybe we won't, after that super sweet animation of Larvo just being huge and weird shaped. See-Through Princess being like, oh, maybe this was a mistake. And then PB just being like, get down here, you fucker. I'm going to murder you.
Mm-hmm.
You think you're the first giant monster I've killed with my own hands? Get down here. Also, I love, after they freeze him and he breaks out, I love Spiky Larvo. Spiky Larvo looks dope as shit.
Yes.
See, I have a note here that is a
good
Bonnie
character design.
True. I have a note here that's like, when Marceline says Bonnie is more important, cry emoji.
Yeah.
The wave of acceptance joke is hilarious.
It's very good.
I like that they go to the, like Adventure Time will always consistently just go to the link that it's funny at, of just like Bubblegum hitting her knees and cursing the heavens that her girlfriend has accepted life and become a more healthy person.
Yeah. It's good is the thing.
It's true. We already covered this, but like them talking in the cave about their relationship is very, very good.
Yeah, and it felt very real.
Yeah, like that feels like a conversation people would have.
Yes.
Which is so weird to say about Adventure Time, which has a very stylistic dialogue.
Okay, cadence. So as I was watching this, I realized that I think the reason why Adventure Time dialogue sounds the way that it does overall is because most of the team are Homestucks. It's just there is a certain quirk to the way that characters in Homestuck speak that I realized is carried through into Adventure Time.
I hope everybody at home has extra yarn for their August's Homestuck conspiracy board.
It's not a conspiracy board. Pendleton Ward is a known Homestuck. He has hidden Homestuck stuff all throughout like his tenure at Adventure Time, and I'm pretty sure that like there are more than one member there's more than one member of that team that is also a Homestuck. Like, it's not a conspiracy when it's true.
The more you yell at me that it's not a conspiracy, the more it sounds like a conspiracy.
Oh my god! You
also,
know
when
what?
you
I'm
have
gonna
to say things like "it's not a conspiracy" if it's true. Nah, that's very believable. I don't know enough about Homestuck. Like, the dialogue has always struck me as like the stylistic dialogue that they use for Adventure Time is like one of its hallmarks and one of the things that really made it stand out at the time. It's probably one of the key things to like its rapid popularity is just from like just the way that like it's so different even down to the way that the characters speak.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very fun. Though this being like this, it sits in contrast though of them just being like very real at one another. Which Adventure Time is also very good at like doing. They're good at doing like emotional conversations. They got good at it. I feel like they got way better at it as the show went on. Probably, I wouldn't say that the writing team from season 1 of Adventure Time could write this episode, but the writing team that wrote all of Adventure Time definitely did.
Yeah.
Monster is such an adorable and tear-jerking song. It's
yes.
This may be one of the best Adventure Time songs.
Yeah, it was. So, like, up until that point, like, I'm Not Your Problem was like peak Adventure Time song. But yeah, this is. Oh, it's so good. Anya was watching with me, and we both were feeling very sappy afterwards.
It's true. Like it gets a whole lot of good like references in there without feeling like it could be about anything though. Like, then couple that with like the baby Larvo animations. Poor baby Larvo.
Yeah.
What did you think about what I just wrote down as cute Larvo? I didn't know what to call it otherwise.
I don't know. I was expecting it to do something murderous. Just because like you can't trust cute things in Adventure Time.
True.
So I was expecting it to do something like, I mean, not like widely disastrous like what Larvo had been doing previously, but you know, just like bite the head off of somebody by the end.
Yeah, just like pick up one of the glass people and carry them off or something.
Yeah, just cash.
Just cash, yeah. I do like you said, like Bubblegum just being casually murderous. Like, now we can beat it to fucking death with our hands. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, now it'll be easier to kill. Slow your roll, PB.
Let's see. Okay. Let's talk about. Okay, we'll do the mushy dance and then we'll talk about Finn showing up. How about that?
Sounds good.
The mushy dance is the cutest fucking thing ever committed to celluloid.
It's so cute.
Of them just like very pointedly just like being very flirty with each other just in a very casual way is super adorable.
It's so cute. Oh my god. I mean, honestly, like the entire ending area is just very good and very gay and made me feel very soft.
True. Also, I can relate to PB because like if somebody like Marceline took off her shirt and threw it to me in a bar gig, I would just be like, all right, well, I guess I'm also in love forever now.
Yeah, mood.
Okay. So, had you ever seen Bronwyn before?
No.
Okay, so that is not Greg's. That is that is Jake's granddaughter.
Okay.
who shows up in the regular series because his puppies that he has with Lady Rainicorn like grow up immediately because they're weird hybrid alien dog Rainicorn puppies.
Mm-hmm.
And there's actually a very fun episode where like Jake tries to be cool in like a skateboarding contest with Bronwyn.
Oh my god.
I think Bronwyn, this slightly older Bronwyn design, is adorable, especially when she does her like little dance at the dance.
Yes.
But let's talk about the thing that basically the entire Adventure Time fandom lost their holy goddamn shit over, which was Old Finn. Or
it's
older
a lot.
Finn. Huh?
It's a lot.
Yeah. So let's talk about this could have taken place anytime after the finale until Finn shows up and you're like, wait a second, what? Because he's like 17 at the finale of Adventure Time, and this guy's like 25. So it's been like almost a decade.
Mm-hmm.
So that's fucking wild. Also, so the Jake tattoo has a lot of implications.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Because the flowers that are tattooed around Jake's head are forget-me-nots.
Boy.
So Jake's dead, I guess? I don't know. Everybody's like, oh my god, you can't just do this.
Yeah, uh-huh. I mean, Jake was a dog, though.
True.
We don't know how old Jake was by the time he and Finn met.
I mean, they were babies together because they're brothers.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
He was a dog.
Yeah.
So, you know.
So hopefully in one of the next Adventure Time special is called Wizard City. And it's about Peppermint Butler.
Okay.
Which is great because I love Peppermint Butler. The last one is going to be called Together Again, and it's the synopsis that's already been posted is Finn the human and Jake the dog are brought together again, where they attempt to rediscover their brotherly bond as they embark on the most important quest of their lives. And it's like, okay, great, sweet. I'm just not going to bawl at the end of that, probably. So fun times will be had.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was just like the first time I saw that, I was like, holy shit, what? What? Just me screaming at my TV, what?
I mean, that's fair.
Overall, I would give this an 8 out of 10. It could have been a 10 out of 10, though.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say a 9.
9? That's fair.
I would say a 9. But also, like, I was literally watching this with my gay partner, and everything about it made me soft and gay. So
it's true.
Like,
this is the softest, gayest animated media that's ever been produced.
Quite probably.
Yeah. And again, this is the thing that I want out of animation meant for, like, not children. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is a piece of animation realistically not meant for children, but isn't fucking Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
And
God.
I was very happy to see this, because, like, BMO is definitely geared more toward kids, because you could not tell, like, a mature adult story with BMO, I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
But this, and I don't know if the Peppermint Butler one will be either, but this decidedly feels like, cool, everybody at animation right now, do you see how you can make not a sitcom or Rick and Morty?
Yeah.
I guess Rick and Morty's technically a sitcom. Because, like, there's the one from the guy who did regular show, and while it looks good, it's just another sitcom. You know what I mean? The Simpsons existed, great, fine, guys, but we don't need to continuously make animated sitcoms.
Yeah. We already have Bob's
Can
Burgers.
continue to exist Yeah, it's the perfect animated sitcom.
Pretty much.
Oh, we should at one point during our season breaks we should watch the episode of Bob's Burgers with the deli counter guy.
Oh God, yes.
Cool. Let's see. We got a couple of. I was real late on posting questions, so we didn't get that many questions. My bad, guys. We got some comments from Izzy. Here's our comments. Because I opened it up to just general bubbling questions because, again, this is behind a paywall. I don't going forward, I don't we'll try and choose something slightly more accessible, but honestly, it's going to be kind of hard because that's just like pirate things. Guys, just go out and download it. If you're wondering how to download media, I wouldn't know, but I bet you if you joined our Discord, link in the description of the episode below, somebody there would know. I don't understand how pirating works. It seems really expensive with the boat and all, but
yeah.
So Izzy had the question of, here's a general question. What do you think about the direction that they've taken with this generation of Adventure Time, considering how many restrictions the original show had to tiptoe around? And do you think that these episodes hold the original spirit of Adventure Time had? I think, I like this. I definitely, if they just produced more Adventure Time like this, I would be so fucking happy.
Yeah.
And I think the spirit is there. I don't think that there is nothing incongruous with this and regular Adventure Time.
Yeah, I agree. Like I said at the beginning, this reminds me why I liked Adventure Time.
Yeah, all of the elements of Adventure Time here are the same, and they've just slightly updated the maturity of the story content from an emotional standpoint.
Yeah.
Let's see. Izzy had a very good question. All right, so I'm going to get to this the other one here. I'm going to do Izzy's questions out of order. Who are all of y'all's favorite side characters? And they mean side characters. And also we can't choose Tree Trunks. I do love Choose Goose and also Peppermint Butler.
Yeah, I was going to say Peppermint Butler.
I love how evil Peppermint Butler is. Evil,
yeah,
but unfalteringly loyal to PB.
Yeah. No, Peppermint Butler's really good. Also, I don't know if he's side character enough, but Lemon Grab is always a perennial favorite.
I feel like Lemon Grab is definitely a side character. Hell, I'm pretty sure Choose Goose shows up in more episodes than Lemon Grab does.
Okay. I don't know. Lemon Grab always just had an impact on me that...
Is it because he screams constantly?
Yes.
Have you ever seen the episode of Lemon Grab where there's the multiple lemon grabs and then the one lemon grab keeps eating all the other lemon grabs?
Yes. Yeah. It was very good.
Have you seen the episode with Tree Trunks and her alien consorts?
No, I have not seen that one, I don't think.
Okay, so there's an episode where at some point, Tree Trunks, the little elephant with the southern accent, she gets married to Mr. Pig. She is visited by some aliens, and they're gray aliens. They're alien-ass aliens. And it turns out that this group of aliens, she has birthed a series of hybrid children with these aliens. They live with these aliens, right? And it's just a whole fucking wild episode. My favorite thing is there's a gif of it I need to just save of she's very mad at Princess Bubblegum because Princess Bubblegum's space program is hurting her alien babies. And she's protesting Princess Bubblegum, and she writes on a big protest poster board, right? She takes Elmer's glue and writes fascist on the poster board and then throws glitter on it.
Wow.
And it's this is so good. I love Tree Trunks.
That is fucking amazing.
And then at the end, she's visited, she shows Bubblegum what's happening to all of her alien babies. And Bubblegum fixes everything. And at the end, she's visited by her alien husband, again while she's sleeping with Mr. Pig. And he's like, hey, I've got to go away for a long time and may not see you again. She's like, oh, well, take care of my alien babies. And Mr. Pig's like, who the fuck is this? And I believe she specifically says, like, don't be jealous of my alien consort.
Okay.
To Mr. Pig. And then she, like, takes Mr. Pig's hand, takes her alien husband hand, and makes them hold hands, and that's the end of the episode.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Tree trunks. I saw this. I was reminded of this episode because I saw some kind of article from some fucking website that was like, tree trunks, polyamorous icon. And I'm like, I mean, I remember this episode, but I wouldn't necessarily go that far.
Oh, boy.
I just love how weird Tree Trunks is. Last question from Izzy, which is, if you all could write an Adventure Time episode, what would it be about and who would it focus on? Frankly, this is the Adventure Time episode I would probably write, TBH, because I do love Marceline and Bubblegum so much.
I don't know. I always loved Flame Princess.
I think Flame Princess could be a good episode. In the later episodes, her and Cinnamon Bun. You know Cinnamon Bun, right?
Yes.
Her and Cinnamon Bun start dating. That's pretty fun.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I liked Flame Princess a lot. So it would probably be a Flame Princess episode. I don't know what it would be about, but she'd be there and she'd be awesome.
I would like to see... I kind of want to see, like, this older Finn mentoring Jake's grandkid in the ways of adventuring. I think that would be a really good special episode.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just Choose Goose episode. Just Choose Goose trying to run some kind of grift. That would be a fun one. Let's see. The problem is they've written a whole lot of, like, just episodes about weird one-off characters.
Mm-hmm.
An episode where Marshall the Vampire King and Marceline the Vampire Queen interact in some way, just so we can get more Donald Glover on this show.
Yeah, I was about to mention Marshall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, more of that, although they couldn't afford probably... Well, I don't know. Maybe they could still afford NPH and Donald Glover.
I feel like Donald Glover would just do it.
Maybe.
Because he does a lot of small projects anyways. Because, like, Atlanta was really good, but I cannot imagine it made him a whole lot of money. He's got that fucking Community money now. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So. I think he would still do it. Probably because I feel like the Adventure Time as a property is also important to him. Like, he seems like the kind of person who legitimately likes Adventure Time, and why he showed up so many times on the show. NPH, I don't know. I feel like they could still afford NPH.
Yeah.
I don't think he's that expensive. Or he can't be more expensive than the couple of times they got him.
That's true.
Yeah.
And, like, with the way that How I Met Your Mother just, like, shat the bed in the last season, that probably hasn't really increased his prospects.
Right. What has he fucking done since then?
I don't know,
Yeah,
but I don't
think.
watch TV.
I mean, I haven't heard shit about him, so he'd probably be happy to get that phone call.
Fair. Yeah.
I think that's it for this episode. So next time we come back, we're going to be... Oh, I have to open the Steven Wiki so I can see things. Actually, let's take a look. Let's see if there's any kind of weird trivia here. Nothing great. Okay, don't care. Episodes. So next time we will be watching the first 3 episodes of Steven Universe Season 2. For us, that will be episode 1, which will be Full Disclosure. Then episode 2 for us will be Joyride. And then episode 3 will be Say Uncle.
Oh, boy.
I'm thinking that maybe I will find this funnier than the last time I watched it. Because
I hope so.
I think I was not big on the absurdist humor cartoons. I think I was a big fucking up my own asshole about it at the time. And then I've gotten high and watched the Adventures of Gumball since then. And I'm like, oh, I get it now. Like, you know what I mean? So I think I also know there is particularly one joke in there that is almost tailor-made for just us. I do very much remember a joke in there that is hilarious. So.
Okay.
It involves Sadie and Lars.
Oh, boy.
So that should be fun. After that, we're going to have theoretically our first guest of season 2. We're going to have Riley Hopkins is going to come and join us. So that will be fun.
Oh, shit.
Hell yeah. And then we're also working on some other guests for season 2. If there's anybody you want to see, hit us up. We'll try and get them. Just make them realistic. Speaking of terrible podcast guests that we could have, did you see that Bruce Springsteen and Barack Obama have a fucking podcast now?
I had a visceral no reaction when I first read that, and I still have a visceral no reaction anytime somebody reminds me that that exists.
Yeah, it's fucking terrible. I didn't listen to it. Just it is terrible that it exists in the world. Don't like it. To hell with it.
Yeah. Wait. Is this better or worse than Hillary Clinton's podcast?
It's better just because it's not Hillary Clinton. I have a significant number of issues with Barack Obama as a president, but he was not instrumental in the implication of "Don't ask, don't tell."
Fair.
So, Hillary Clinton can fuck off to hell. I mean, so can Barack Obama, frankly. Bruce Springsteen's okay still. He's not the greatest, but he did, to my knowledge, he hasn't committed any war crimes.
To your knowledge.
To my knowledge, yeah. I don't know what Springsteen's gotten up to, but he wrote Born to Run, so that's a whole lot of bad. Like his Paragon meter is pretty high. A timely Mass Effect reference.
Oh my god.
All right. I think that's it for us then this week, right?
I think so.
So tune in next time. Check us out on Mondays. We're powering our way through the Supergiant games on our Twitch channel. It's twitch.com/standingstonepod. PROD. I should start putting a link to that in the description of the episodes too.
You should.
I will. I'll make sure and adjust it for this one. We're going through the Supergiant games. We just got into Pyre. I assume we'll probably still be playing Pyre by the time you hear this episode.
Yes. So Pyre took me almost 20 hours.
Ooh,
so
in it for a hot minute.
Yes.
And then after that, we're going to be playing the Oddworld series of games. So hopefully by the time we get through the first remastered Oddworld game, the newest remastered Oddworld game will be out. Otherwise, we'll just play
crossed.
the HD upscale of the PS1 game. Because I can't imagine it's that much different. I mean, it will be radically different, because that New and Tasty is radically different from the PS1 game. From a visual and They add a couple of different things, but not a big deal. And I think so check us out on Twitch. We're usually around 7:30 Eastern Standard Time on our Twitch on Mondays. Currently, I think that we'll continue. I think we've settled into the name of the series as Magic Gear Monday.
Yes.
Yeah, and probably will continue to be Magic Gear Monday for the foreseeable future.
Yes.
I think that's it. Do we have anything else we need to pitch? Oh, soon, in April, you'll be able to hear me over on the Off the Table Twitch channel on Thursdays.
Hell yeah.
Because I'm going to be running a game over there for them. I'm going to be running what I call dubbed an Eldritch Thriller, which I think may be the first time anyone's used that as a genre. If there is, in fact, something like that, please tell me so I can listen to it for reference. So that should be fun. You guys doing anything weird at Follow the Leader?
Okay. I don't think we've been sworn to secrecy.
Well, we can cut, you can tell me now and we can cut it out if it's bad. Or if we find out later we need to.
I'll have to double check with them. So coming up in April, we'll actually have a couple of special guests on Follow the Leader.
Did you
well, potentially two.
Did you book Steven
possibly.
Universe?
Yes. No. It's either going to be either Johnny Sims and or Sasha from the Rusty Quill group are going to be playing a game with us using one of the micro settings for the game company that they're working with. We're very, very excited. Actually, I will double check with them and then wait, let me do this again. I want to do it right and not sound like a douchebag.
No worries. Since we're going to cut this anyways, is this the same Sasha that was on Dumb Kids?
No.
Different Sasha.
Different Sasha.
Because I'm thinking about getting that Sasha, like the Sasha that was on Dumb Kids for the faction game that I'm planning for season 3.
Yes. Sasha Renault of Spindle Wheel renown is different from the Sasha who is with Rusty Quill.
Okay. Theoretically could be the same person. Yeah.
It could be, but is not.
Yeah. I feel like Danielle would have probably been way more hype about it now that I think about that.
Yeah, so in April, we are going to be having one or two special guests from Rusty Quill. Either Sasha and or Johnny Sims will be playing with us, playing in a micro setting that they're helping out MacGuffin and Co. With their Kickstarter happening in April. When I have more details about that, we'll probably put that in our Twitter over at FTLcast. We are so fucking excited.
That is very exciting.
Yeah. It's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be really good. I literally had to lie face down on the floor for a minute.
Is that what that post was about?
Yes. Between that and my Kickstarter funding, that is what
your
prompted.
Kickstarter funded.
Yes, which is not going to amount to much of anything for a while because we're just starting producing the art for it. But as soon as that actually produces fruit, I will also be promoting that as well.
Sweet.
But for now, in April, keep your ears peeled over on the Follow the Leader feed. It's going to be a good time.
Hell yeah. Sweet. Make sure you check out our other shows that are like this on the network. Equestria Gaze, where August and Anya talk about ponies. I imagine real, actual ponies, right? Or is there a
Yes,
show
real
about-
actual ponies.
There's a show about ponies,
No.
or
Yeah,
Oh.
there's a show
weird,
about
interesting.
ponies.
And Jade and Danielle over on Escafil Files, talking about the Animorphs. Good. It's a good. I imagine they do well. I feel so bad because I'm like, go listen to their show, and somebody asks me like, what's it like? I'm like, I don't know. I've chosen not to listen to it like a bad friend for creative purposes.
Yeah.
Danielle seems to understand. They're in fact doing fine without us. I have everybody's. I happen to have all of the download numbers basically for all of Standing Stones. So, okay. Well, we're just gonna do our normal outro, I feel like.
Yeah, I feel like that's good. Do we want to try to say it together again?
Yeah, let's try and say it together again.
Be like Cookie Cat and leave your family behind. Peace.
Gay space rocks, come on, grab your friends. We're going to very cartoon lands with August the Harpy and Brian the Raccoon. The fun, it never ends. It's gay space rocks.